On a night where we had some really good games, we also got this one. Spurs and Thunder, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Look at those two showing up.
That dichotomy was so sick.
Man, SGA getting the second straight MVP trophy pregame. De'Aaron Fox out, has the ankle injury. Jalen Williams back in after a 6-game absence for the Thunder, throwing it down. He looks fine.
Yeah.
Thunder were up 1. This is so early, though. He had 10 points, did Williams, in the first quarter. It was tied. That's a bit of a theme. Tied at 27 after 1. Now in the second. Off the miss, Wemby's there for the putback over Chet Holmgren.
Another theme of the highlight.
Indeed. Because then, oh wait, it happens again. Throwing down in traffic. That's over Holmgren and SGA just for good measure. Now he's backing down Williams. Spurs were up 46-41. Then 90 seconds left in the half. Wemby again. See, again, it's not just the cheat code. It's like unlocking a cheat code for the cheat code. First Spurs player with a double-double in a conference finals half since Tim Duncan in 2012, which was also against the Thunder, by the way. Spurs were up 51-44. Now in the third, Williams going to find SGA, who was abysmal. 4 points, 1 for 5 in the first half. Getting going here. Off the Thunder turnover, Spurs now. Defense into offense. Dylan Harper. Spurs up 3. But then there's the response. Also filthy. SGA. OKC trails 80-73 after 3. Harper now in the fourth quarter. With the Spurs up 7, make it 9. With that, SGA with the response. And yes, Wemby can do a lot, but he's not stopping this one. Driving past Wemby, laying it in. There was also a foul. He missed the free throw, though. OKC down 5. Alex Caruso, how are we only seeing him now? He played a monster game. Thunder down 1. Gonna find him again, hit that 3 like he did so many times in this game. Thunder now up 95-94. Shot clock winding down. Julian Champagnie, ice in his veins, nailed that 3. Spurs now up 2. Then Wemby, 20 seconds to go. This game is tied at 99. Easy. Spurs up 101-99. Thunder get the ball. That's how possessions work. 10 seconds to play. SGA is like, I don't care what Wemby can do. I can do that. We're tied again at 101. 3 seconds. What can Wemby do? Who wanted this more? Holmgren got that one.
Yeah, he did.
Because it had been the other way much of this game. We go to overtime. Spoiler alert, number 1. In OT, Thunder down 4. Caruso, corner. 3. Does anyone want to guard him? No. Thunder down 1. Next Spurs possession. Spurs are going to be like, you want this? Cool. Turn it over. Thunder. Mine. Jalen Williams, I do it myself. Thunder up 1. It's 106, 105. So now there's about a minute to go. It's still that 1-point game. SGA, how? He threw that down over Wemby. But Wemby's like, don't worry about it.
What?
That's like a her beakness. That's like a her beakness. If that's Caitlin Clark, she's hitting that from the beak. Spurs tied at 108. We go to double overtime. 4 minutes left in double overtime. We're tied at 108. Wemby just was like, we need to end this. I've had enough. Spurs lead by 1. Harper catch. Drives. He'd make the free throw. Spurs up by 5. Then with a minute to play, Spurs up 1. It's 115-114. Harper finds Wemby. Wemby on Holmgren. That was the moment. 30 seconds left. Spurs by 4. Castle lobs it to Wemby. Nonight, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. 122-150. It wasn't 2-1. It was 122-115.
Stephon, this thing was an instant classic. How did you guys persevere and win this one?
I think we just got a lot of dogs on our team, and we fight through any adversity that we go through. And I think we got the best player in the world on our team. I think you saw that tonight.
Well, he had 40 and 20. First guy in the debut to do it in the conference final since Wilt. Whenever you're in that conversation with Wilt, you know you're special. What more can you absolutely say about this phenom?
I think he just brings it every day. He has the right mentality. and I think he just wants to be great. So to be a teammate of his and just to see it, firsthand every day, it's greatness. So I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
You guys are so young. Your huddles are so vocal. All of you, the young guys, the veterans talking. What is it like to be on this team at this time?
Yeah, we don't think about our age. We're on the biggest stage. We trust in each other. We tell each other the truth. When we're bullshit, we tell each other. So we're a pretty tight group. We can tell each other anything. So when stuff isn't going right, we talk it out in the huddles and we get it done.
And then lastly, this is as tough an environment as there is in the sport, particularly during the playoffs. And you guys pride yourself on defense. How did you slow down the MVPs?
Just sending multiple bodies at him, contesting every shot that he takes, and trying to keep him off the free throw line. I think we did a good job of that.
Stephon, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here with our very own Kendrick Perkins, of course.
Hi.
Percolator, what we saw from Wemby was absolutely insane. I'm struggling to come up with any words for the 41 points, 24 rebounds, in 49 minutes.
The most he's ever played.
You stopping me. Go ahead, big dog.
I was watching the game with my wife and my kids, and I told my wife that we're sending our kids to those damn monks that we went to this summer. Because I need that mentality. I need that mentality right there. I don't know what I just saw. I believe we call it greatness, but God bless America, what he just did on that stage. It's one thing to spoil an MVP moment for SGA being awarded his MVP, but it's another thing to walk into that arena, one of the loudest, most hostile environments, and have a legendary performance like he did today on both ends of the floor. And the one thing that stood out to me is how personal he took it, because the world knows the hatred that he has in his heart for Chet Holmgren. Wemby was a monster all across the board. I'm speechless. The number speaks for himself. And we just heard Stephon Castle say that he's the best player in the world. Guess what? He has no argument whatsoever from Kendrick Perkins. None. I have no argument for that.
You did get it wrong, though. You said, God bless the U.S. I think in this case, it's God bless France, actually. At least for Wemby. It was at one point a really rough night for SGA. I mean, he did have the double overtimes to sort of like make up for it here. Checking his numbers, he did finish with 24 points, but in the first half, he was like 1 for 4 with 4 points. How did San Antonio make his life so miserable?
Because one, they have so many big wings and guards that defend at a high level and that are physical. And it starts with Stephon Castle. We know that the Spurs have the Defensive Player of the Year in Victor Wembanyama, but let's not forget Stephon Castle is still an all-defensive caliber player. And when you think about the size of a Dylan Harper, a Vassell, these guys are 6'5", 6'6", Chapani. They are good at sliding their feet, taking the bump, the physicality, playing without fouling. I've never seen SGA look like this, even though he struggled in the Lakers series to his standards. Tonight was a prime example that he has his work cut out for him all series long. And when we talk about taking that leap in greatness, this is one of those moments where SGA, if he rises to the occasion, because it's going to be hard, then we'll see him and he'll show us that we believe, that we know that we are or should be believers of who we think he is. But this is going to be a brawl for it all. He's going to have to strap his boots up.
Yeah, dog. You talk about like just the physical gifts of all them wings, but like the willingness to go out there and strap up an MVP is a different caliber of mentality, and that's exactly what they have. Now, on the Thunder side of this equation, we mentioned that Chet, caught the worst of Wemby's force this evening. Okay.
And get used to that.
Right.
It's not going to lessen.
The idea is that there's something he could do, but it don't feel like there's much he could do about this matchup he has against Wemby Perkins.
Well, can he try? That's the first thing. Can he try? Because I saw him ducking smoke tonight. I saw him guarding other people on the perimeter. I didn't see too much of him one-on-one action guarding Wemby, and he know that beef has been around since they high school days. In order for them to even stand a chance, Chet Holmgren is going to have to take this personal, especially on the defensive side of the basketball. He's going to have to take and show why he finished as one of the top guys as far as the defensive player in the defensive player of the year runners. Tonight, he's going to have a hard time getting sleep. When you let somebody walk into your crib with muddy shoes, kick their feet up on your coffee table, and order DoorDash with your credit card and turn your channel on your television, damn it, you got to do something about that. That's what Wemby did to Chet tonight. He got to take this personal because Wemby is not going to stop. I'm going to say it again. Chet, if you're watching this, if his family is watching this, Victor Wembanyama doesn't like you. You need to have the same feelings for him.
I don't think that's a secret. What did they order from DoorDash? What was on the menu? I feel like one of the things that we've almost forgotten about in all of this, because Wemby did what he did, there was no De'Aaron Fox in this game. The Spurs did that in OKC without De'Aaron Fox. What does that mean?
And Stephon Castle had 11 turnovers. Well, I think, let me tell you what it means and what it showed us. It showed us the depth that the San Antonio Spurs have, right? It showed us the old soul of a rookie, Dylan Harper, who has been fantastic all postseason long. This young man has been here before. And when you watch in the crucial moments, we have seen him time and time again, not just in this game, but throughout the course of these playoffs, take over when it matters the most. And the trust that his coach have in him. They have a different type of spirit going up and down that sideline. And I've been saying this. Listen, I voted Mitch Johnson for as coach of the year. He got my vote. He is an evil genius. You see his passion on the sideline. This San Antonio Spurs team, they're dangerous, and they have one thing and one thing only on their mind, and it's not just getting through this series and beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's actually going to capture an NBA championship.
You would think that a young team like this has to learn a little something before they get there, but it feels like they could arrive very soon. Don't sound
it's too... It's the monks.
Listen.
It's the monks. I'm sending my kids, I'm telling you. It's the monks. I'm sending my children. I'm telling you that right now.
We're going to let you work on that.
That went on over there. Mentality.
Yeah. Appreciate your part.
It's the monks.
As always.
Who knew?
I feel like it was a great effort from everybody, 1 to 15. Physically, I'm feeling tired, honestly, but not as much as you would expect, honestly. It's probably the adrenaline. It's going to come down a little bit. I'm probably going to sleep pretty well tonight.
Victor, I heard you tell the TV broadcast that it felt at times like you weren't thinking during that late part of the game. Can you kind of expand on that, your mentality, and also the pull-up three-pointer that you hit with 30 seconds left? What were you thinking for that one?
For that one, I was just thinking, take my time. But for the rest, there are some plays I wish I were thinking more. Like I think it was the regulation last shot. I had an open look, on a way smaller defender, so I should have just taken it. But it's an experience we learn,
Mitch was saying that it's a pretty natural response for a competitor to see another competitor get something that he wants, whether it's the MVP trophy or whatever it might be. I'm just curious if that was in your mind at all, knowing that Shea had got that award and you were in the top 3 for it. And, did any part of tonight feel personal? Some of your facial expressions kind of look like you were really, really going for it.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said.
What does it feel like to see someone else get the MVP trophy right before you step into, I guess, what is basically the biggest game of your career, and then to have the best performance of your career?
Feels like I still got a lot to learn. And I want to get that trophy, many times in my career.
We talked a lot about winning an MVP and what goes behind it, whether it's political, things of that nature. Do you feel like, especially after this game, that you're the best player in basketball?
Do I feel like it right now? I feel tired. But it's not a question I'm wondering right now. We'll see, The world is 8 billion people, so it's 8 billion opinions.
Victor, tonight almost felt a little bit symbolic, the MVP ceremony for SGA before the game, and then you have a big response tonight with your performance. If your performance tonight had a message behind it, what would that message be?
The message would be that we as a team are ready to go in any environment, in any place, against anybody. And even though we still got a lot to learn, our effort should be over anybody else's. And tonight we were relentless.
Victor, a lot of guys took turns on SGA. What did you think of the play of the guys, perimeter guys on him?
No, they were great. They're great. It's a team thing. Everybody was very connected today. We need to keep being connected, and I don't know how probably not gonna practice tomorrow, but we're definitely gonna meet and talk about and anticipate for next games. There's gonna be adjustments on both sides.
Vic, you've said a couple of times now that you're tired, which makes a lot of sense. I imagine there's a mental toll during a game like that as well. Can you just explain what that game was like to be a part of, with the amount of hits you took and to continue to keep going?
It's something, the relentlessness is built as well. First of all, the first thing is physical ability, getting stronger as the years go on. And the mental toughness, you have to have it all the time. And as you said, yes, it takes a toll, but we will rest in July.
You talk about the relentlessness, the physicality you had to play with tonight. When you have such an emotional and physically taxing game like this one, how important is it for y'all to be able to close it out there in the second overtime?
It's everything. It's everything, and I feel like it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of you need experience as well. But tonight, a game like tonight is the best way to get experience. We played 5 quarters, so. We're learning, and by the time we get the experience, we'll compensate with our effort.
Victor, I asked Mitch, I'd love to hear it from you as well, even though we didn't see De'Aaron tonight. Can you talk about his veteran voice and how much it helped carry you guys to this win?
It matters a lot, Obviously, you said talking, and he sees a lot as a point guard, and his guidance with the young guys is just great. And I knew they were gonna have his back.
Vic, you've referenced many times, both in round 1 and round 2, and even tonight, that this is a team that's still learning, that you're still learning. How do you marry the fact that for a group that's learning, and many of you haven't been on this stage before, you look extremely comfortable in this moment? Well, how learning tends to be awkward. You guys are not awkward with this.
Yeah. It's we want to win everything, and we have the chance to have people above us in the organization that know how to do that. And so far, it looks like they've put the right people together to give us a chance. Because right now we got a chance. We still got a lot to do, a lot to learn, a lot of trials to go through that we don't even know of, but we have a chance, and that's because they've built the team like this.
Victor, on connaissait tous le talent de Dylan Harper en attaque. Est-ce que tu parlais un peu de son impact défensif? Est-ce que tu es encore surpris par ce qu'il est capable de faire? Est-ce que tu considères qu'il a aussi ce potentiel d'être une superstar, d'être un two-way en fait, joueur?
Bien sûr. On se repose beaucoup sur lui, des deux côtés du terrain.
For Coach of the Year, Ms. Johnson.
It was a competitive game. It felt like both teams just kept doing enough to not be put away and kept doing enough to let the other team know they were trying to pull away. It got to the point probably sometime at the end of that fourth quarter, it just felt like it was a war of wills. And there was a level of mental toughness that was exuded by both teams. And almost sometimes, like in football, they say it's just at some point the time runs out. It felt like everybody kept scoring. But the bench was great for us. We needed every second from everybody that played. And then those 5 guys, I don't know what it is, one of you probably do, but they played maybe the last 15 or so odd game time minutes. And their legs got wobbly, but they composed themselves and finished strong. And that was a heck of a game to be a part of.
And then by this point, are you at all, I suppose you're not surprised anymore about the way Victor is able to rise to these moments as they come along in his career. Just every big moment, he seems to rise to that occasion and meet the moment.
I thought his level of physicality and execution through physicality was tremendous. His rebounding obviously shows itself in the box score, but was off the charts defensively. He was in a stance almost all night. And I thought he did a good job of, and the guys along with him, just being stubborn in terms of they made some shots, and they did, obviously, you got to give up something when you try to take things away. And at times when they made shots or they made us pay for whatever we were trying to do, we stuck with it. And he led the way. That's 49 big minutes, and it was high level for the majority of those.
What was the key defensively against SGA? It seems like a lot of different guys took turns on him.
Yeah, we tried to keep guys fresh on him and just make it hard for him. He's so dynamic, gets the spots. One of the best I've ever seen in terms of angles and being able to take up space and use your physicality against you in terms of leverage. I thought we did a good job of trying to contest without fouling and make him take tough shots. And he's going to make shots, and sometimes he misses shots. You may not have anything to do with it, but you're just trying to make him work.
Mitch, I'm glad to see your voice has survived 2 overtime somehow. There's a lot of fans from around the world that are going to start watching at this point. A lot of them have maybe seen clips of Victor, but haven't really sat down and watched a game with him. Can you explain for a lot of those people the essence of what made him so special tonight?
I think that young man he has a rare desire to step into every moment that's in front of him. And I think he has showed in his 3 years in a lot of different situations with a lot of different circumstances that he's going to attack those moments. Doesn't mean they'll always work out for him or be exactly the outcome that he wants, but he has some rare God-given ability. He puts in even more work and preparation into try to maximizing that. And his disposition and mentality and approach is reflected at times in the way he handles those moments.
Mitch, let's hear from that special young man, Victor Wembanyama, now at the podium.
Shay, you guys had chances tonight. What'd you make just of the battle that this was and some areas for improvement moving forward to Wednesday?
Yeah, quality opponent. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. We just got to be better. Me in particular have to play better, especially against a team of this caliber. Yeah, nothing more than that.
How'd you feel about just pace, tempo, both up the floor and in the half court offensively?
Yeah, exactly what I expected. Fast. They play very fast. Yeah, exactly what I expected in the game. Just got to be better out there.
Shay, it looked like you were maybe a little more hesitant than usual attacking early on and then got more aggressive as the game went on. Obviously, they pose a huge challenge defensively. What's your process of feeling out a game like that and how they're playing you?
Yeah, I just try to take what the defense gives me. I think earlier they were heavier in the gaps, and I had a lot of sprays for open shooters more so, and then I think they loosened up as the game went on, and I was able to find my cracks. Yeah, it's got to be better when I get those cracks, I think.
You talked before about enjoying finding ways to get better as a player, but also just throughout a series, how much do you enjoy the problem-solving aspect of finding ways to be effective against a specific team like this?
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what this time of year is about. Like, it's the highest level of basketball, and you're going to find out exactly what type of player you are, what type of competitor you are, and exactly what you need to get better at. And it's no different this time of year around.
You talked about the problem solving. Mark mentioned, obviously, Wemby's not an easy guy to go against, but you guys playing them that early in the season, you found a bit of a groove of sort of understanding how to attack him a little bit better. Is there like a feeling out process or like an adjustment period against a shot blocker like that?
Yeah, you just got to be aggressive, also just be smart, I think, more than anything. He, yes, obviously is very big at the rim, but we still found cracks in it at times. We just got to be willing to work possessions and make sure we get the best shot each time down, and just be patient with that.
Shea, I'm not sure what was more impressive, Alex's defense on Wemby or his shooting tonight. What did you like better?
I can't pick either. It was a great game from Alex. Sad it went to waste. But yeah, he played his butt off tonight. I'm proud of him. But I expect that from Alex, especially this time of year. He always brings it.
The way he played, the way Jalen first came back after the hamstring, to have the guys around you have some, encouraging games, and you guys go to double overtime even on a night you're not pleased with your performance. Is that sort of encouraging to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I know what my teammates are capable of, what we're capable of as a team when we bring it. It's just unfortunate I wasn't able to bring my best game tonight, but that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're your best version, sometimes you're not. You got to roll with the punches, don't get discouraged, and stay true to who you are.
You mentioned you found your cracks a little bit later. How tough is it to prepare a shoot over a guy with that kind of length? And one, the things that you did find, is that something you think you can take for the rest of the series with you?
The second part of your question, I probably wouldn't want to say in public, just 'cause I don't want to give any answers away. But yeah, it's obviously challenging. It's very tall, very long, deters a lot of things at the rim. Like I said before, you got to be smart when you go in there. Be patient, but also be aggressive and don't be too timid in there. I think you get caught worrying about it too much and you lose aggression, and that's where they really a stranglehold on the game. You got to be able to be aggressive but also be smart.
Obviously, the wounds are still fresh from this game, but how do you sort of bounce back, or how do you use the experience you guys had last year in sort of similar environments, game one against Denver and Indiana, where sort of similar games where it comes down to the end and it just doesn't go your way?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this situation before, so this feeling's not really new, but it's also a completely different basketball team. But I think that the thing that remains the same is we have to get better with each game. We have to learn the mistakes from the wins and the losses, tonight the losses, and continue to get better. We did that in the previous two when we lost game one. We have to do so again this series if we want to give ourselves a chance.
You mentioned that obviously you guys have been here before. What do you remember about your first playoff loss of your career and just how your mindset has shifted since then?
I honestly don't even remember my first loss was to Golden State with Steph and Katie and them, but I don't really remember how it went, to be honest. I honestly don't remember, but I've changed a lot since then.
Shea, you mentioned you can't let Wemby take your aggression away. What got you going, like midway through the fourth quarter?
Honestly, I feel like they loosened up a bit in their coverages, and I just felt it was what the game needed to try to be aggressive, touch the paint, make plays. Didn't make enough of them tonight personally, but I think that's what the game needed.
The Thunder's 9-game playoff win streak, which goes back to Game 7 of the 2025 NBA Finals, has obviously now come to an end. It was their longest streak since moving to Oklahoma City, which was back in 2009. They will look to bounce back.
On SportsCenter, Dylan Harper, after 24 points and 11 boards, is at the podium.
locked in team defense I've seen. It was a theme throughout the night. What was the connectedness like on that end of the floor for you guys tonight?
It was great. I think that's kind of our calling card. And when it gets to the end of the game and things of that nature, that's something we're going to rely on every time, is just being connected on defense and making sure that, we're all just, we're playing team defense, not just one-on-one.
Did you figure out you were going to be starting tonight in place of De'Aaron?
When did Fox? 60 minutes on the clock, I think. Yeah, like right before the meeting, 60 minutes.
And I guess you've talked in games past about, I think we asked you, do you feel any kind of way knowing that if you were on a different team, maybe you'd have 40 minutes a night, and you talked about it wasn't really a thing you thought about.
Mhm.
Now being in a position where you're starting Western Conference Finals, making meaningful minutes, what does that mean for you, especially just in your first year?
It means the world. I feel like not a lot of people get this experience just to be a part of such a great organization and a great group of guys. And I feel like the locker room is great. So just on the first, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I think this is kind of where I'm supposed to be, and just keep on just taking step after step.
You've only started 4 games.
Yeah.
And then you start in this game. How did you mentally prepare yourself to start in a game this big?
Treat it like every other game. Going with the mindset of just being me, and not kind of just taking a moment and just being kind of on the forefront and not being on my heels. That was the biggest thing, and kind of just being attack mode all the time.
And do you think of the gravity of this game, the gravity of a moment? First team to win 4, but you're in probably one of the classic playoff games of all time to get the first one.
Yeah, I think it was important for us to get the first one. Obviously, like you said, first of 4, they're the reigning champs. They're a great basketball team. But for us, we just got to keep on doubling down on kind of the execution and his game plans.
You had a very interesting stat line. You had 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 steals. It's just kind of being everywhere. Will you talk about the connectivity of you guys with, obviously Victor puts up massive numbers. But if you look at your stat line too, just, I'm stealing the word here, gravity, you guys and Victor, does that, benefit you and being able to do all this stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I think it goes with our execution, and I think my 7 steals was kind of a team thing. It was more just rotations and just, for me, beating the right spots and just letting my instincts take over.
Mitch was saying that, different guys might not have embraced kind of what they wanted to do early in the season, and it's laid that foundation for them now. Why were you so open to everything, and why do you think it's kind of paying off for you now?
For moments like this, just being around 2 great point guards in Steph and Fox, and kind of just picking their brain, earlier in the season when everyone kind of didn't see the vision, I kind of saw it and doubled down on it. So just wanting to win. I kind of never been in this position, but you got to embrace a position like this if you want to help the team, and that was the biggest thing.
Dylan, Mark just called it one of the classic playoff games of all time. I know you haven't been in many of them.
But this is my first year. So.
Do you think of I'm aware of that. Do you think of stuff like that when you're in a game like that, when it goes to overtime and then double overtime, that this is an epic game that you're in?
I'm just trying to win. That's the biggest thing on my mind. It was obviously going to double overtime, but it's going to be an epic game regardless. But if we don't come out with the win, it's kind of back to the drawing boards, and we got to even double down even more. So we kind of just all went in there with the mindset of 2 overtimes, just double down and win.
And what did you think when Vic pulled up from 35 feet?
Confidence through the roof. I was stunned a little bit. But once the ball went up, I'm like, oh, that's going in. It's kind of just who he is. He's one of a kind.
Could you talk more about just the confidence that you've seen in him just throughout the whole season? Obviously, in a game like this, we talking about, this is one of the best performances from a player that we've seen in recent history. What do you feel like it leads to him just in the days that we don't see, or the times we don't see, for him to come out here and do this in a game like this?
His preparation, the way he comes in the gym and just works on everything that he needs to work on. And I think just how sharp he is with everything. And everything comes out like today. Obviously, you see the big stat line and all the amazing plays he makes, but it's the little things he does every day, whether it's eating or lifting or just shots that no one don't really see, and he's kind of just one of them ones.
Dylan,
when you play the Thunder, like one of the top line items, I'm sure, is their ball pressure. You know, obviously your first start against maybe the best perimeter defensive team, one of them. Only one turnover tonight. I guess 2 questions. How did you manage to keep your hands on the ball on that play in the fourth quarter? and secondly, like, just what does this do for your confidence moving forward, so that you were able to handle that level of pressure from a team like that?
Yeah, I don't know how I kept the ball alive in that one play in the fourth quarter. It's more just like I can't turn the ball over. It's crucial time. Is who wants it. And I feel like I kind of came out on top, and definitely I think it instills more confidence in me just to be me and go out there and, you know, no matter who we're playing, my biggest thing is don't turn the ball over.